Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another day with Delenn. We are still hanging out on the coffee server, and today we are just going to be doing a little bit of procrastivity and planting a whole ton of wheat, because the town needs a ton of wheat to go around the outside, and then after that, if we get past that relatively soon, which won't be all in one stream, then we can switch over and do some filler houses. Because before I can really figure out where we need to put inns and stables and so forth, we need to start filling this place up. It's a lot bigger on the ground than it feels. On the other hand, it's not realistic sized at all. Hey Creef, good to see you. So, welcome on in, Creef. Oops, that's the backside of me. There we go, that's better. Ooh, that's a super cool little emote. I like that one. That's some. Wally is always for the win. Oops, just moving my palette. Okay. Better than yesterday, put it that way. Oops, actually I probably should sleep while I'm here. Yeah. Had a bit of a throw to my morning, just youth using terms they probably shouldn't for completely innocuous purposes and not necessarily realizing it wasn't a good idea. So yeah. Yeah. So we had a camp this weekend, and we had, I'm just gonna double check this one. We had a bunch of like 8 to 10-year-olds and 11 to 14-year-olds at camp, and unfortunately, they used some terms that are very inappropriate for both for their age and for the situation. So yeah, it was a little rough. So as leaders, we're trying to figure out what to do about it, or if we should do anything about it. Oops. Okay, good. I have a bed. That's fine. So I've got a bed. Yeah, and that's the worst of it. I mean, the kids will do what kids will do, sort of thing. Which is never, great. Kids are just, it's never ideal. But yeah, that was one of those things I did not expect my morning to get interrupted with. So, oh well. Yeah, live and learn, I suppose. Anyway, we're back here, and we're just going to continue on with the wheat while we chitter-chatter about whatever. And if it grows, it grows. If it pops off, well, then I guess I'll have to figure out something else. And start putting in more of the water sources. But for now, it seems to be sticking, so I have no idea if it's even going to grow. Probably won't, with my kind of luck. But I just haven't been out here long enough. I mean, I could have come out with a whole ton of bone meal, so we could do something if we need to. In any case, yeah, so that's where we're at. Basically, the context of it was there's a game that we play over here. A lot of kids know it as Goggleball, but a bunch of other kids know it as Shinbreaker. And as you can imagine, it is what it sounds like, in that you just... Yeah, that's fine. Oh, perfect, thanks. So, it is... so it's a fairly, I would say, mostly tame game. I mean, as in, kids can't really get all that hurt with it. Let's just put this over here for now. There. So they can't really get hurt playing it for the most part. I mean, you've got an inflatable ball, volleyballs, or basketball, or in this case it was one of the inflatable, like, cheap balls you buy at the general, Walmart or whatever. And they just take turns, open hands, smacking it into or towards another player, and if you get hit, then you're out. One of those sorts of things. And the issue came up when some of the older youth, the 11 to 14 set who were playing, realized they were winning a lot and not giving the younger kids much of a chance. So they opted to exit the game early, like let themselves get tagged out, so that the other ones could play. Or sorry, not could play, but could have a better chance. And unfortunately, that was tagged with one of the more common English words that you might expect for something like that, but understandably that if some of the other youth didn't know the alternative usage of that word, then it poses a bit of a problem, because I don't know how far the conversation went in terms of explaining what the alternative meaning was, but there's a lot of youth, if they don't know what that means, we probably don't want to be telling them. So yeah. And then we had a few other ones that used racial slurs on the weekend that shouldn't have, well, not that they shouldn't have, but nobody should. So we had that going on as well. And yeah, there's one youth who's been cautioned multiple times for dropping F-bombs. And that was not one of the older set, that was the younger ones. So yeah, we have some troublemaker youth this year. But this is much more preferable. This is a much better day than how that started. And the weird part about this stuff is that sometimes the things that come through, we use Slack to talk between our leaders. Yeah. We use Slack to talk amongst the leaders. And so normally when something comes through on Slack, it's usually an actionable thing, as in needs to be dealt with fairly quickly. Or it's a planning element, but it could be blocking for other people. So I don't mind taking a look before streaming, but last half dozen times I've looked before I stream, it's always been something weird and out of band, and I probably should have waited till afterwards because this is going to drive me nuts. For the most part, the weekend wasn't too bad, and actually the part that I was involved in went fairly well. There was a little bit of miscomms between the leaders, but nothing super bad, just that we didn't... I didn't understand that one of the leaders was not annoyed with me when I thought they were, which is kind of nice. So I guess that's a bonus. But yeah, I spent part of my weekend worried they were mad at me. And because I didn't help with something that they had originally scheduled me to help with. Just because I was feeling a bit of overwhelmed, so I need to step away. And I clarified that last night, just thanking them for keeping things together for everybody while I had to step away for a bit. They had no idea what I was talking about, which was fantastic. And then they went on to say positive things about looking forward to continue to work together as a team this summer as we're on this, taking our youth to a jamboree big camp. So they're looking forward to being on the same team together and learning things alongside the kids together and stuff. And I just thought, okay, well, that was awesome. So, sometimes things go rough on the time of, and I think it's partly because we're tired, we're cold, we're just over-peopled. And I never ever like the having a scout meeting the very next night after I come back from a camp. It's just, it wears you down, Most of it was fun, as I said. We, our youth started doing activities that I have no idea why they call it youth leadership, because there's no leadership involved, but whatever. They get a badge out of it, so they were happy. So we were doing activities like that. Actually, some stuff that I've heard of, sometimes used also as corporate team building activities. In this case, it was things like if you have a large tarp on the ground and all of the team climbs onto the tarp, and then you have to figure out how many times you can fold this tarp in half over and over again with while nobody steps on the ground. So like you have to stay standing on top of the tarp. And that's quite a team event. Yeah, a lot of people get peopled out as well. And it's just part of how we define introverts versus extroverts is often related to how one recharges, not just getting peopled out, but when one needs to recharge for whatever reason, it's frequently related to how one recharges. Some people need to be around others, and other people just need to be off by themselves. I'm normally an introvert, even though I can seem extroverted with the right crowd, just because I go on at length. But yeah. So the kids were doing the tarp event, and they had a lot of fun with that one. And then I was doing a craft bracelet thing that, had I chosen to pay a lot more for weight-rated cordage, it could have been used as a survival bracelet. So that's good. Hee, Creef is officially first here. Honestly, you probably are, actually. Let me just take a quick look. Yep, you are officially and realistically the first one here. Hey, Mama Bear, that's okay. Hello. While time didn't get away from me, exactly, just the distraction made me not realize that it was as late as it was until I was already late, if that makes any sense. we joke about the Dadcraft community using a lot of Dadcraft Standard Time as the time zone we work in. I work in DST, which is not Daylight Savings Time. It's Delenn Standard Time, which is anything but standard. So yeah, it's all good. There we go. Actually, I probably shouldn't be... Well, whatever. I was gonna say I probably shouldn't be going right up to the edge of the road, but I'm here now. We'll see how it looks after a while. I got kind of carried away, actually. Let's just take a look. Yeah, that's a little bit sus, so maybe not. Alright. So let's see, where can I delineate this? Take that one. And then we'll just beat all these up. The straight diagonal, why not? They have seeds that way too. You see a sword. Yep, Mama Bear is the latest member of the Come and Go Delenn moderation team. And I mean that quite literally in the come and go, so if she's here, she has the power. If she's not, then it's fine. Like, there's no pressure for anybody to have to be here on the moderation team. And I stream such a weird time zone, pardon me, that it's not always convenient for people to be here. Fantastic Sherlock Fox at the end of the month will be starting a new job, so he figures that he's going to be out of the house quite a bit. Or at least having to be nose to the grindstone enough that he won't be able to mod in a lot of situations. Therefore, I've expanded the team, but also gave a few more people the chance to do the things really they've already been doing. And what I mean by that is, for example, Mama Bear was already welcoming in raiders, which is fantastic. And if I get organized, one of my to-dos for this week is to make some of the shoutouts, at least the initial in training, at least the ones that are the initial welcomes, a little bit more automatic. But at the moment, it's still kind of manual. So if Mama Bear wants to drop a shoutout for our fine Creef, that would be very much appreciated. And it could either be !SO or /shoutout, your choice. I would go with the !SO because that'll trigger both. Where are we, map? Do I want to go down in front of that cave? I hate the cave. Absolutely hate it. But visually, without it, it looks kind of dumb. Maybe I'll go right up to the edge of the cave and then leave the cave itself alone? Maybe? That would make more sense, maybe? Oh, okay, that's cave. Alright. I guess that one goes there. Let's catch up to this level. This one here. Yeah, so for those of you that aren't following our fine friend Creef, you really should be. Politely put, if you're not, what's wrong with you? Creef is so much fun to watch and to listen to and to learn from. I've learned a lot about music groups that I did not know were first coined elsewhere. That was awesome. Creef is amazing. Yeah, Fantastic Sherlock Fox was jokingly telling me about DJ Creef the other day. I was out on at camp on the weekend, of course, was unable to see the most recent streams. And I gather we have yet another class of graduates from the School of Tom. So, always good to hear that people are learning ways that they can get away with playing some of their more favorite music. Should they wish to, that's awesome. Yeah, I keep my nose out of that business. Not that I don't want to be helpful. I'm certainly willing to help people, but I do things differently and have a different philosophy. So he and I wouldn't always see eye to eye. And that's perfectly fine because, hey, they say variety is the spice of life. I say you do you, and if you do you is not how I do me, that's fine too. You know? Keep things simple. And he knows his stuff in the house. And yeah. So one of the things I was happily made aware of this morning is I pay for Epidemic Sound. So although it's not music that, you know, everybody knows kind of deal, they've added 100 more genre tags to their collection, which means that I should be able to find a little more easily a collection of music that I enjoy that doesn't always have to involve the same playlists over and over. At the moment I'm playing their stuff through Spotify, but I could very happily... Oh, there's the bed. I could very happily switch over to their app and try and... Excuse me, what's the word? Get us something different to listen to. But I kind of, at the moment, still like the variety that I'm getting. And when I go over to their app, I usually have to use a search term and then just play what comes up in the search results, which most of the time could work. Sometimes I end up with, I put in 60s rock and got a random run that was like, I think 80% of it was surf guitar, which is great, but if you listen to surf guitar constantly for 2 hours, it can get a little bit annoying. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Let me just take the bed with me this time. Put it somewhere else. Alright, because all this going up and down, of course I jump on some of the wheat and then it doesn't grow, and yeah. Okay, let's see, let's put it... put the bed maybe down here. Because I don't think I'm going to go down that far with the wheat. A lot of parkour and stuff, so it makes it a little bit easier for me not to trip over it. No. Yeah, I think that'll work, because the ridge over the cave is a little bit rough. Get this lip done, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. It would be, or could be, a better place. I don't necessarily think that's always the case. You know, you do you and I do me. It's great, but then sometimes people have taken the more YOLO attitude. You only live once, and if that you only live once involves cheap thrills out of harassing others, they go, oh hey, cool! And they love to repeat it. So, yeah, not my cup of tea, but hey. I was gonna say there's no accounting for taste, but yeah, there's no accounting for a lot of things. Go that way. I'm gonna find a lot of sections I've just missed because I'm just puttering along. There we go. We get to the, oops, when we get to the bed, we'll double back. And that lower? That's lower. So yeah, I've got a bunch of music that just doesn't work for everybody. And that's just the way it is some days. But I mean, like, this one is a very sleepy song, which I'm not really surprised. What would you do with a song by a guy named Timothy Infinite? And the song title is Probiotic. It's like, okay, yeah. I had my meds this morning, thanks. We're good, we don't need any more biotics. Do I want that level? I guess I don't really care. Right? If I can reach it, and I like it, I'll just go with it. Nah. I'd be careful about this jumping, right? It's going to take a lot of wheat seeds. But thank you very much to Mama Bear. We're starting with one very nice shulker full of wheat seeds. I think we're almost we're on target. So now we can double back and fill in between. But yeah, I was having a real itch for Electro Swing the other day, and I turned on Epidemic, and I started to search for, and I got Electro, and I didn't get as far as the swing part before I got distracted. It's like, yeah, gotta love high distraction. Anyway, and I was listening to something, I don't even know what it was, some sort of, it was electro-futuristic punk something, I don't know. I don't think they could have shoved more genre words into it. And I got through about 20 minutes worth of this stuff, and then I went, okay, I have my fill for the next century. Let's go. The difficulty I find with music for streaming is if I'm going to chat over it, then I don't want lyrics. If I'm going to be quiet for a while, then lyrics are great. Provided, of course, they're family friendly. That said, there are some that you go, okay, they might be family friendly, but I'm not really on board with whatever it is they're saying. It's always challenging. You know, like the kids in the pit. I'm not necessarily on board with what they're saying. I think that'll work. Okay, terrain-wise, how many levels do I want to go down? Let's double check over here to see how low did we go? Oh. I think that's probably actually going to be not bad for texturing, is if I leave some of the spots where I've jumped and it's popped a seed, just leave it. And that might look okay for texture purposes. Okay, so we are on this one. Oh, come on, not right in the corner all the time. Okay, this one, what level are we on? This is Y108. Yeah. Okay, so then I can go down to 108 on the other side. Right here. Just grab these, why not? Because they're there. So that's 107, but that's okay. 108. Make the band a little wider. Ah. Right. Okay, and then go back up this side. This is a big project. Anyway, where are we here? Let's hit Geek Out and see what we've got rolling for the day. Because today's question of the day did not end up centered. Uh-oh. I just got a text on my wrist. Give me a quick second to figure out what that's all about. I should be right back. Alright, so yeah, for emergency purposes, just in case, I've got Fantastic Sherlock Fox able to text me, and he actually was texting me about a movie I wanted to see, so that's kind of handy. We'd seen, he and I had seen a promo trailer for it a while back, and I think it might be kind of fun. It's a family-friendly movie called If, and it's all about people, about imaginary friends. So the characters have imaginary friends. These are frequently rejected imaginary friends that need new homes, really. Need new friends. Oops, yeah. And I'm looking forward to that one. So I could probably go either way, I mean, depending who's in it. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Shoot, it would bug me. But in any case, Fantastic Sherlock Fox was sending the link to my kids to, and I'm wondering if he's suggesting that we could potentially go and see it. Because it's one of those ones that I'm sort of interested in how this... Yes, Ryan Reynolds. Kind of interested how the CGI will go. Because Ryan Reynolds can be comedic, or he can be a bit more serious, but when he's being comedic, sometimes he's a little more over the top than I generally enjoy. But this one could be kind of a neat one. So I like that idea. It's the idea that imaginary friends don't go away and they still have a world of their own. And actually, it's for me, it's the notion of imaginary friends hits a little close to home. I didn't actually have an imaginary friend myself. Nor do my kids really, but they have imaginary worlds for their toys, if that makes any sense. So, for example, my daughter has a world where a lot of her, she's quite into sheep, but where a lot of her sheep friends go at night, sort of thing. And it's also the world where if you have to clobber a sheep in Minecraft, it doesn't really die. It teleports to this other world. And it just decides it's not going to be in our world anymore, even in a video game. I thought that was a bit odd when I first heard it, but whatever, float your boat, kid. So, this concept is not exactly foreign to me. My son does the same thing. He's got a different world. Instead of his being inhabited by sheep, it's inhabited by dogs. Although he annoys the living daylights out of his sister, simply because they like to play together, but he's forever making up games, which they make sense. I mean, they both do, but it's games where, and then so-and-so says this, and then so-and-so does that. And my daughter's like, that's not how that works. So, yeah. Kids will be kids, I guess. Exactly, it's whatever works for each other. They've been both very carefully warned, though, over the time, that the older they get, the less that people want to hear about it. And so my son's more or less done with his. We don't hear about it very much at all. It also, though his might also be tied to the fact that our actual dog passed away, and apparently runs, what was it, a restaurant or something in that world, like in his world. I don't get it, but whatever. So maybe maybe it's not discussed anymore because it's full of retirees. I'm not sure. But in any case, yeah, but they've just been both warned that if that sort of thing is the case, you can talk about it. I have no problem with you talking about it around me, sort of thing. But just beware that some people may not be as receptive to this notion without thinking you're a little crazy. On the other hand, for my daughter at least, if that's what keeps her from, getting into all sorts of other trouble and fantasies that could be more dangerous, by all means. I mean, like, if you think about it in this if world, there's the possibility that Ryan Reynolds' character probably is thought of as a little bit out there to anybody else that finds out that he can talk to and see imaginary friends. I think, if I remember the trailer correctly, I think even he thinks he's a little touched when he first figures out he's got that ability. And besides, we got quite lucky that our kids didn't, as far as I'm aware, express a whole lot about having a ton of nightmares. I mean, everybody does from now and again. I did a couple nights ago. But by having a constant imaginary world, then you've got a safe place to go to that you can dream about repeatedly without having to worry about nightmare situations. So I'd rather that than a world full of nightmares any day of the week. But yeah, you guys actually, the viewers and the players on this server got a bit of a taste of it last year on my daughter's world, because she wrote a story about it that she wanted me to put in one of the books in last season's bookshop in the shopping district. So yeah, for those of you that were on the server or got me to read through it at one point, that's where that came from. It was one of the many weird adventures that happened in her world. But it's actually also to my advantage in many other ways, because even as the kids grow older, these things still exist for them. So what I mean by that is I was warning her, because my daughter's sort of at that borderline age between the younger section I worked with this weekend called Cub Scouts, and the older section, the Scouts. We jokingly call them Scouts, but really they're Scouts. They just don't have a youth sort of a section name. It's the only one in Scouting Canada that doesn't. And she, I was warning her that when we go to Big Jamboree this summer, that many people would think she does not need to bring a stuffy, and she doesn't often take one with her to camp. Every once in a while she does, but most of the time she doesn't. And so I was just lightly warning her that, I guess, actually, where do I want her? Yeah. So I said, you may not want to bring it with you to the Jamboree. And she said, oh, don't worry, she knows she's not coming. Oh? So I just, had to delve in more, kind of going, okay, what's the story with this one? And she said, because she really can't be away that long. She's got ruling duties, and she can't delegate those to and name some other friend for that length of time. It's like a 10-day camp. And she says, yeah, she really can't be away for 10 days. Okay. Sure, I'll take that. Why not? Problem solved. One of our older scouts always brings a Squishmallow. So for those of you that don't know what a Squishmallow is, basically it's a stuffed toy that I don't know what they've done with the the stuffing inside. Oh, right, okay. I don't know what they've done with the stuffing inside, but it's very, very squishy, and it's very easily huggable, I guess is probably a good way of putting it. And so, so these Squishmallows, we've got one that they got told they could bring a Squishmallow to camp, even though they're nearly 14 now. But, yeah. They got told they could bring a Squishmallow to camp. The proviso was that it had to be their pillow. That was fine by them. They've been bringing it ever since. I'm like, okay. Whatever, guys. I frankly don't care if you have a reason for it. So, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's hope this turns out well. Gee. So, I mean, my daughter could do something like that, but none of hers are really pillow material. She just said, nope. No worries. I mean, it's not even a matter of tagging it so it doesn't get lost or anything like that. She just said, no, my friend's not coming. She's the ruler in her world, and she just can't get away for that period. She says a weekend is fun, she can delegate for a weekend, but she can't delegate for 10 days. It's like, okay. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are you doing? Thank you very much for that. I don't believe we've met, so if you would not mind, just let me know what it is you spotted that caught your attention and got you to come on by. Also, what was I going to say? I can't remember now. So, yeah. So my name is Dylan Russell. I normally play Minecraft. I'm a bit of a timid player, so we do a very, very casual Minecraft playing. And this season I'm working on a place I'm calling Foxbury. It was based on Shrewsbury, England, as sort of realistic, sort of described in a mystery set of novels called Brother Cadfael Chronicles. So that's my theme this year. We have a monastery off to the side. We're working in a medieval theme. So to some extent, where it seems reasonable, I'm going historically influenced, I suppose. I was getting pretty fussy about semi-historically accurate for quite some time, and then I just gave up on that part. So just deciding Minecraft can't actually do that. I'll give you the 3-second penny tour. So you can see we've got Shrewsbury. It's got a Mott and Bailey style castle with a keep iron farm at the top. We've got a couple of barns down here, a little bit of a market stall area. Off to the west, there's an inn, pretty crummy inn actually. A few auto farms for the things we need, and then we've got some viewer housing. And this dark zone here is, I call it Cook Street. So it's where you would get all your hot, ready to go foods, which backs right up against a viewer house. So I'm not quite sure how that worked out. A couple of yurts, including my Secret Santa box gift. And then little bridge goes out to... That's fine, no problem. You can drop in, drop out, lurk, whatever suits your fancy. You're very welcome. The only thing you need to really know about the channel is we are family friendly, possibly to a fault. Although I'll say things that can be misinterpreted sometimes, and every once in a while I'll slip, but not usually dropping F-bombs or anything crazy like that. So then we've got our monastery, and the recent addition was the dual cemetery for the monks and for the townspeople who can afford it. We've got another stable, and then down at this end is like the guest hall, abbot's hall, a bit of the abbey gardens, and this would be a herbarium with some weird... that's where a lot of the nether stuff shows up, for potions and such. At the moment, I'm planting a ton of wheat, or trying to, as much as I have right now for seeds, to go all the way around the outside of the town. And then we'll get into possibly a few more filler houses and a few more inns and taverns and that sort of jazz. But yeah, if it's something that appeals, you are welcome to stay, no problem. So I am part of the Dadcraft73 community, or the Streamcraft73 stream team. And if you are not familiar with, let's throw up the couple of who-ises just for a brief moment. So this is me, the Who Is Delenn, and then followed by, we have a Who Is DC, and a great content creator. So he has, oh geez, what is it now, 5, I think? Or is it 6? I think it's 5 servers for his Patreon supporting members to play on and stream from if we like. So this is his Java vanilla Minecraft server. I play with quite a lot of quality of life mods. Is 6 with Stardew, or is it? I can't count anymore. So he's got, this is the Java one, and yeah, I play with a lot of quality of life mods, but the server itself is vanilla, like ultra vanilla. I think the only mod they put on there is player heads, which one must gain through PvP. Where did I? Uh-oh. So where did I put the bed? Oops. Let's go find it. That's still down here? Okay, yeah. But other than that, it's just a very vanilla server. We've got a Bedrock server, so all the people that can play on the Bedrock consoles, mobile devices, that kind of jazz, they can play there. We have a modded Java server. I'm not sure what mod pack is on it currently. I know it got reset at one point, and whatever was on it was not to my taste, so I kind of lost track of it at that point. And then we have, what else? There's a Bedrock Flat World server used for designing builds in advance. So last year they ran contests for the design of the spawn house for Bedrock. And then, what else have we got? And then there's the Stardew Valley server. I think it's only 5 though. The Stardew Valley server is a new one. It's so I'm not exactly sure what the status is with all of that. Oh, and then the bingo server. You're right. Then there's the bingo server. So it's a Java-based bingo fetcher server, and we just recently finished a community bingo tournament, I guess you could say, like a March Madness bracketed kind of thing. I did absolutely miserably, but not. I survived a couple rounds, which was more than I expected, so that's good. Now there seems to be a bit of a buzz going on about Java-based blind bingo, and more power to those folks. Not something that appeals to me to play in any manner of speaking, although watching is not bad. I'm just getting a little bingoed out, I guess. I was surprised that I survived more than one round. Although I will counter that with saying, and I know you guys don't necessarily like it when I run myself down, but reality-wise, I will also counter that a little bit by saying I survived well. Some of the cards were a bit of luck. I mean, that's bingo for you. It's almost always luck when there's randomness. But also, some of the players really were very new to the game and hadn't actually had a whole lot of play experience before they decided to sign up. And some of them have had a good bit since then. Funny enough, we've actually managed to get at least 1 to 2 streamers emerge out of that community because they enjoyed, out of that tournament, because they enjoyed sharing their games, at least on Discord, and in some cases commentary while they played their rounds. And so yeah, we've gained a couple of new ones. But yeah, there are a good number of people on this server. Let's see if I can... I don't think I have everybody on here. This is just the part I've explored. There's far more to this map. And not all of these are bases, but a good number of them are. So yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. So, and I don't think I have everybody marked overworld as well. It's just about as crowded on the nether side. But yeah, that's what she wrote. There we are. So we're making some progress. It's getting green. Actually, because of the nature of planting wheat being relatively mindless, I'm making more progress in linear blockage, I guess. Sounds weird, but linear blocks than I did when I was building the wall, but that's just because I had a pattern. I was getting really fussy about how the pattern looked. And of course, being multiple different blocks, you need to have different things on your hotbar, and so a lot of that switching around and stuff takes time. Yes, that's the intent. It may not all be on camera. We'll see. And actually, at the rate we're going, I'm sort of keeping an eye on Dadcraft's seasonal, I was going to say annual, but I guess it's not really the word, seasonal tour levels, because if he gets close, I'm trying to sort of monitor, yeah, that's the word, monitor it, so that, yeah, I guess 9, so that I get the time to actually do my Lightmatic copies of some of these things. I don't care about the wheat farm. Like, you know, I can do that again in my solo world. Fox thinks I should do them and just get them done. But then that means I have to do it over and over and over again as we build more things, which I guess doesn't take that much time. So in Minecraft, there are 2 major mods people use for building things using schematics. Java has one called Lightmatica, and then there's one for Bedrock called Structura. And I'm looking to use them, those programs, mods, to make schematics or designs out of the things that I've enjoyed building that I want to keep. And that way I can just, because the other world, the solo world, of course I'm op, etc., so I can be creative if I want, and get it to just paste these structures into the other world wherever I need them. And that's just, I think I'm using that more of an archive world, so as I enjoy various different builds, then I can move them into that world in the different regions. And at some point, I will actually give you guys a tour of that, so I could... Huh, I'm out, okay. Can I punch a couple more just to finish this row? Nope, guess not. Alright. So we are probably too far out for it to be actually giving us more seeds, which means for now, we are done. Let's see, we're only about an hour in, so let's go see what we can do. Is there anything on the wall that we can mark off and actually do? One of these days I'll take out the floating blocks. All right. So this whole castle zone is definitely one that I will take. And I'll probably steal the schematic for the general mob farm underneath, not because I don't know how to build a mob farm. I might even just schematic the sorting piece of it. That's a possibility. Okay, the wall of to-dos. How are we doing on that? Let's see. Okay, there's more AFK stuff, more trading. More librarian trades. I guess I could do some of that. That's not horrible. Provided I don't hit another column. Oof. So, more product farming. I guess I should take those pumpkins while I was out there. Cook Street needs more filling, which, that's great, but if the farming for the market doesn't get done, then the Cook Street doesn't get filled, right? You need products to fill the products. In the stables, so we need these. Town wall stairways. That's going to take some thinking, so maybe I should take a look at designing that, and we've got it for later in the week. Yeah, tons of wheat all around town wall. So, when you look at something historically in the medieval period, in order to, of course, feed people, because they didn't have a whole ton of international trades, yes, Mama Bear, raw beef will totally help. For sure. And if you don't have qualms about entity cramming farms, then it's a lot easier. I was doing it the other way because I was pretending to be humane, I guess, but I'm getting a little bit ridiculous with that. So for the thing all the way around, if you take a look at sort of medieval history concepts, is they actually would have just had the various farms all the way around because that's how they fed their population and traded and so on. But also, of course, they would have been subject to a lot of various different blights and bugs and this and the other thing. So, truth be told, Minecraft farms would be unrealistic, even if I do get all the way around, because they are guaranteed to grow, whereas real-life farms would have actually had some splotchy bits here and there, or as, say, the wild pigs in the forest get out and eat the stuff, or, somebody's chickens or whatever. So, yeah. So we've got two different spots. So, for example, overhead, we're not going to get too picky, but I've got a brown stall here, which will be the raw beef, part of the butcher's side of the farmer's market. And then on the Cook Street shop, I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think it's this one, slightly longer. Was the cooked steak part of it. And so we've got a few Minecraft type foods, but the notion would be you'd have your hawkers and sellers and whatever wandering around, trying to sell you, whatever foods they've got, pan pies or something. But then also you could go to the shops where people would have just cooked up a whole bunch and tried to sell it. And that was in essence the fast food or the food court of the day. But you'd have to go to different shops to get your different pieces. So the one down on the end, I still need to pop it with potions and such. Got a few on the front, but that would be, you go to buy your drink at one spot, you go and you get your meat product cooked up at some other spot, like if you want your turkey leg or something. And then you could go to another spot, maybe and grab a hand pie, or your baker and grab bread, and that's your thing. So this chunk here is Cook Street. It's short, but that's the way it works out. Let's see, we've got... I rolled Geek Out, didn't I? No, I didn't. I didn't roll Geek Out. Oh. Anybody watch The Hunger Games? I didn't. So, we'll give it approximately 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be, there's no timer on it. I thought about putting a timer on the screen for the Geek Out, but I felt that gave people too much pressure. Yeah, Fantastic Sherlock Fox watched The Hunger Games. It was not something that really appealed to me. I think part of it is it's a semi-dystopic future, and I'm not really into dystopian stuff, nor overly utopian material, but dystopian in particular, just because I don't know. I find those kinds of things depressing, and even when I tell myself that it's fiction, the problem is I'm too aware of technology that actually became reality from other fiction that I don't have much faith that things won't be nut bar. Okay, let's see, where are we? We've got... I can do all that. One of the things I wanted to do, which is not on this list, it's sort of encompassed under the HT section, pardon me, is doing some rearranging. Let's see what's mostly full here. Okay, this one, that's mostly full. How's that one? Shovels has a few. Maybe what I'll do is just consolidate this stuff into fewer boxes and take what I've got and then do a bit of rearranging while I'm there. That might be sensible. Sensible kind of maybe. Put that one down there. I better put that away. Uh-oh, what did I do with the toolbox? That's supposed to be here. What did I do with the toolbox? Ah, there it is. Let's put this one away. Fortune and Silk Touch, and those can go over there. Oh, that was carrots, okay. Need to replace the carrots, because I'm on my last stack, so that's not good. That's one of those, yeah, it'll happen elements, but not immediately. What's this? Oh, ha! Guess what? Looky what I found. Okay, fine.
Hello there.
I'll put those in the corner. And I know I don't need this now. You didn't get a go live. Interesting. There we go. I'll pull this one so that I know I don't have any more. Okay, I guess we have a few more we can plant. Which means I need a hoe back, don't I? Smart. Yep, totally smart. Let's go with Silk Touch, Mending, Unbreaking. Yeah, that one. And I also needed to grab the pumpkins from here. Let's put this one away or I'm going to forget what I did with it. So, do you think your ears were burning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox? Mama Bear and I were just talking a little bit about that she and you have both watched Hunger Games, but that it wasn't my thing. So, yeah, a lot of things, I've heard of a bunch that have become reality. For example, if you think about the iPad, okay, that's one of those things that was talked about in Star Trek, okay, so there is that, but also, wait a minute, oh well, I don't need a pumpkin farm anymore. I should just leave it, because our fine Mama Bear has rescued me from a lot of this farming nonsense in the melon farms by already getting us full on pumpkins. Okie dokie. That's what we do with that. What else do we have? Beets and potatoes, right? Okay. We can do that. I was starting a bit late. Oh, boy. I was starting a bit late, but not as late as it could have been. Beets and potatoes. Which one did I bring? Oh, I brought the Silk Touch one. Dang it. I needed a fortune hoe for this specifically. Here we go. So, where was I talking about? I can't remember. Wasn't important. Wasn't important. If I ever stop in the middle of a thought at some point and lose the train, and you guys do want to know what happens next or whatever else I was on about, let me know. Otherwise, I don't mind every once in a while when a thought goes, because if it's important, it'll come back. If it's not important, then I'll keep forgetting, and that's totally fine. Fantastic Shock Fox bought me a campfire blanket badge that has the dog and flames from the popular meme about where it's all fine and everything's on fire. And I need to actually get that on my campfire blanket. I think that'd be awesome. So we do, in Scouting, we do badge collecting a lot and put them all over blankets you can wear to a group, the sing-along campfire thing. And I am so behind on my badges and my kids' badges. It's not funny. I mean, it's one thing if it was just my blanket in a bit of an I don't care format, but because it's theirs as well that I'm behind on, disappointing. So I'm looking at getting my mother-in-law's help because she shouldn't say loves sewing. That would not be accurate. Maybe she does, but anyways, it's a skill that she's got that she definitely does not mind employing and has volunteered help on multiple occasions, and I just have not taken her up on it. Part of it is because, of course, we want the kids to lay out their own badges, and I think they've done so twice and then earned a bunch more that might actually change that layout. And the other part is they've done it, but I haven't yet. And that was because I couldn't decide. I'm now at a point where I need a second blanket, possibly a third, and have not decided what I want to use for the blanket. So, and what sort of shape I wanted to put it in. Like, the first one I got, I just left as a blanket. But it's annoying when I go to a campfire and, unfortunately, it's my turn to lead something, like a song or a skit or whatever. And unfortunately, I have to take the blanket off because I don't have any ties to keep it around my shoulders. And so I'd love to actually be able to have ties on it, but then I'm also wondering if the blanket's old enough that if I did put ties on it, it would put on enough stress that it would rip the blanket. Because it's just I was going to say, it's crummy. It's one of those cotton ones with a little bit of weave to it. Seed, yeah. So I figure it would probably come apart. But I don't know. If I left that in her hands, let her figure it out, maybe that might be a better plan. In any case, I didn't. And so I should do that. Should actually, decide how I want things. She said she'd help us catch up. And then my thought is, the plan is that I would be able to supposedly keep up, or at least pretend to keep up, like I have a chance of it, and just have not got round to that part yet. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go super, super classic, Scouts all over North America have started with a wool blanket, preferably not super itchy. Mine's not a wool blanket, it's actually a cotton blanket. And mine in particular, when I was a kid, I was in Girl Guides. So for Americans, that's basically Girl Scouts, but not quite the same. There's a reason for that. But anyways, so I was in that program, and just because back then they didn't allow it to be co-ed. So now those programs are co-ed and have been since the late 90s. Not co-ed in the way Scouts BSA has gone, but quite literally co-ed mixed. We have rules for propriety for camping and so on, like in terms of girls and boys don't sleep in the same tents or whatever, and you need separate changing spaces and all that jazz. But they do the exact same activities. They can be on teams and patrols and troops together. They work together, they cook together, they clean together, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but back in Girl Guides is when I started my first blanket, and it had my badge sash, all the little badges you earn, and our neck scarves and so forth. And that filled up the majority of the blanket I had, but I didn't put tassels on, right? The blanket I chose was one where it would be gray, except towards the end, probably about a foot in from each side, maybe more like 8 inches. There's a series of stripes back and forth. It's not special for Girl Guides. It just happened to be the blanket my mother bought. But mine was like a gray background base, and then the stripes were alternating red and white on mine. And on hers, because she was, at the time, she was a leader for the scouting program. So they allowed female leaders, they just didn't allow female participants. Go figure. Anyway, so she had one for herself. And then years later, she decided that she didn't really need it anymore, didn't really want a blanket for herself, would never use it or whatever. She took all her badges off and just gave me the blanket. Just because it's cottony, it's soft and cuddly and all that jazz. So I just kept it and stored it for years and years and years. Just because I liked the blanket. Part of the reason I liked it is also because it reminded me a lot of going... In the summer, I would go to my grandmother's travel trailer. We've talked about this a little bit before, that she would move out in May from her condo and basically spend the entire summer in her trailer and then, like, camping. And then in the fall, she'd move back. And so the blankets like that reminded me of her. And also this nice 8-inch section on each end. When I used it as a blanket at camp, I had a nice soft section I could snuggle up against my face without getting scratched by all the badges. So anyway, long story short being that when I filled up my first blanket, and I'm now in the market for a second, I'm debating, do I want to use the other striped blanket so that it kind of matches the first one, which makes sense. But then, do I want to keep it flat as a blanket, or do I want to get my mother-in-law's help to reinforce it such that we can have a hole cut in it and wear it a little bit like a Mexican poncho? Well, yeah, actually, that's the other thing is, now that I'm a leader for my kids, which is cool because I probably would have wanted to put them each into their individual program if they weren't co-ed. And I know some people still do separate them because they want siblings to be able to have their own separate adventures from their other sibling. But anyways, now that I'm a leader, then I actually have inherited her, they call it a woggle or a slide. So it's basically the little round piece that holds your scarf on. And I've inherited hers. And it's still the same design and whatever. But it's, because they're made out of leather, the woggles are unfortunately very, very stiff. Which is fine, except I've learned the hard way a couple of times, accidentally, about active braking seatbelts? Yeah. What I mean by that is that in some vehicles, when you hit the brakes, the seatbelt will intentionally pre-tighten a little bit, just so the slack give that we usually drive with gets automatically pulled in, which is great until you have your very stiff leather woggle stuck in between. And then you end up with a bit of a mark on your chest, and it hurts. Oh, yeah, poncho, that's correct. Poncho. Yeah. And some of the scouts actually like having a bit of a kangaroo pocket on the front, sort of like a hoodie style, just so they got somewhere warm to stick their handles. Yes, I've had a woggle-shaped bruise on a couple of occasions. But thankfully not many. Usually it's... I'm not the world's best driver, but that said, these particular bruises were from situations where I'd had to brake or swerve because somebody else did something weird and I had to react in short notice. Yeah, but anyways, I've inherited her woggle. Just because nobody tells you that, like all leather things, the necker slider woggle should be oiled and stuff. And once it's been fairly stiff, it's not cracking because it's just cordage. But yeah, because it's gotten stiff for so many years, you now can't really recover it, which is too bad. Yeah, exactly. I like the comfy poncho idea, and then it works well if you have to stand up to lead a song or whatever, because stereotypically scouting songs at campfires are full of do as I do type actions. So it's nice to be able to have your thing on there, and then you can go walking around camp with your poncho on and showing off all your badges you've earned over the years. People often want to know what they're for, and I'll be honest, with a lot of the Girl Guide ones, I don't know anymore. Can't remember. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, being able to move or to cuddle in it. The other advantage I've seen, and another thing that's making me think about potentially not using that one and getting a different blanket, or potentially even having one, like choosing the fabric and having one custom made, would be that I've also seen them used in multiple different places where, for whatever reason, there isn't room to change where you are. And so if you have a big enough poncho that goes down low enough, then you can generally more or less hide under it while you're getting dressed. I mean, over your head dressing is difficult, but yeah, just like putting on your trousers or whatever is, pants. Sorry, I was having a conversation with an English person last night. Yeah. But yeah, when you're putting your pants on and stuff like that, it's helpful because you can't always successfully do a lot of that stuff inside a sleeping bag. Especially not the ones that are mummy shaped. I like a fairly snug sleeping bag. I mean, it has to have some room because I'm a side sleeper, but I like a fairly snug sleeping bag. That does not, it's not very conducive to being able to change in your sleeping bag. Or if you're backpacking and you have a one-person tent, a lot of the one-person tents you can't sit up in. So it's nice to have options. Where are we here? 109. 108 makes me feel like I'm going to fall off a cliff, so yeah, let's do it anyways. But so I'm looking forward to catching up on the blanket badges. I will trade for badges. A lot of Scout leaders will. There is a sort of an unwritten rule of thumb, though, that if you're trading for badges, with youth, you have to lose, if that makes any sense. So as in, they have to get the better end of the deal. And that makes sense. I mean, not like anybody wants to shortchange others. That's just not very friendly. But there are a few that I've seen that where as youth, like some of our other Scout leaders, as youth have traded for a badge or a piece of memorabilia that probably should not have been traded for. Meaning, not that they did a bad trade, but that the person trading it away will most likely someday regret that they made that trade. And it's things like, what would I put? Like in the US, we have the Webelos, I believe it is, and so I've seen, like, one of my Scout leaders has a Webelos memorabilia piece from like an old uniform from the 1960s or something that they picked up when they were youth. So this person's now in their 40s, and that's the sort of thing that, like, the leader probably who traded away may not actually, should not have done it for just a badge, like a more modern campfire blanket badge. But I mean, it's also nice to have the ones that, sort of like the I was here at such and such an event, and being able to use those as conversation starters for memories, because I've run into a few different leaders at different events where they'll spot something on my blanket or I'll spot something on theirs, and we go, oh, hey, I was there, and do you remember this, and do you remember that, and it goes for great conversation. However, it's not always an international thing. Apparently it's some of the larger jamborees. So, for example, there was a fairly large international one last year. I think it was, not last year, a couple years ago, I guess, in Denmark, where there was like 40,000 youth. That's a lot of people in the first place, but 40,000 youth, 11 and up. And, or at least, actually, some countries said 11 and up. The host country allowed their one section younger than that to attend, but some of the international ones, the thing to trade is actually your neck scarf. So people were trading their neckers away, and I guess apparently if you can get it, people were trading their uniform shirts. That's one that I would not be too pleased if my kids did that. You know, please don't trade your uniform. But that's just because they're not cheap, right? Badges aren't cheap these days either. I mean, in Canadian dollars, some of the badges that we're taking are, if you were to buy them, they're like $10 a piece. They're nicely embroidered. It's not just a printed on piece, but yeah. What do you mean I have to buy another one? Or, I sent you with 3, how come you've only got 1 now? Hey, what's this, what's this navy blue shirt you came back with? That's not your group's color. But that's actually funny though, because one of our leaders, youth leaders, who went to this event, did trade their uniform, which was interesting that their parent let them, but they were there, so whatever. Hey, Poodle!
Welcome.
So one of the youth did trade their uniform, and actually ended up with basically the same uniform they have, like for their actual section, so you wouldn't really notice, except that all the writing on it is in Danish, which is kind of cool. And so that I could maybe see some sort of logic to, as in you've traded for something that's still practically functional, so the parent doesn't really need to replace it. At least that's my theory. But in any case, yeah, please don't trade your uniform, kids. And neckers are at least less expensive, and they're easier to display actually, because one of the things that we see a lot of over here on the campfire blankets, in addition to the badges, is when someone has traded neckers, or some events will do a custom necker for identification purposes, and partly it's that you were there, but also partly it's being able to tell, say, the adult security volunteers from the participants, from maybe they're in different separations for some sort of reason, and neckers make it or scarves, pardon me, make it an easy way to differentiate. So displaying your various different neckers, it's actually become quite popular to keep them pre-rolled and then just sew them onto your campfire blanket, one above the other. And often they'll start with the top, but close to your neck, kind of like you're wearing it, and then work down from there. But keep the center flap, so the triangle portion that you would picture on the back of someone's rolled neck scarf, they'll keep that part sort of loose and flappy. And so you get like a big sandwich layer of all the experienced neckers that they've had. And that's kind of cool. Another one that's popular over here is to make custom woggles, so neckers and slides for an event. So like, for example, I've got one, actually, what am I wearing now? I think I've got 3 on my scarf. Some groups are really fussy about their uniforms, saying you can only put on the official ones. Our group's not quite that picky. We just want kids and adults to have one to hold their neck scarf in place. And so they can either make one, or wear one from an event, or wear multiples. No, I ran out again. Okay. So they can, make one or wear multiples, and it really doesn't matter. So I've got 4 on mine. 2 of them from themed training camps that I went to as a leader. One was a Star Wars theme, and one was a one was a Star Wars theme, and one was a Harry Potter theme. So I've got a Darth Vader slide on mine, and a Slytherin House slide. And then I've also got one from last year's youth event, because the theme was myths and legends? Yeah, myths and legends was our theme last year for this younger section youth event, and they had custom slides put together for that. Apparently that was an American thing to start doing that, and a lot of these neckers and slides, or the slides particularly, not the neckers, but a lot of those slides were originally made out of bone, because if you take out the marrow in the middle, of course, you've got a tube. And from what I understand, the founder of Scouting, Robert Baden-Powell, saw one of the American bone ones and thought it was pretty cool, and figured he'd make that the official thing for all of his scouts. Oh, go this way and steal one more from here. So yeah, there's all kinds of stories for different things, but yeah. So my campfire blankets, the reason I need new ones, of course, is I've got far too many badges available. One example of that is if you take whatever the Ziploc freezer bag size is, that's like one larger than a 1 gallon bag. That one I've got, for myself, I've got one that's easily 2/3 full, and that's not flat, that's like fairly stuffed, it's about 2/3 full. And then for my kids, they're about each half full. And that's not counting neckers. I've got a separate bag that's got my neckers in it that I need to put on. So that's part of why I want a new blanket. But try to decide, do I want it poncho style? Do I want to... There's other ways we can do it that looks where you can get ties or snaps or whatever on the sleeves. Not sleeves, sorry, on the corners, and then partway down the sides. They snap together to make impromptu sleeves. Some people choose to wrap them around more like a house coat. That one's less popular, but there are designs on the web available for where you attach and reinforce your ties to make it work. We're not doing too bad. This section in the middle where the bed is, it looks a little sparse, so I may have to expand lower over there, but we're getting down. Alright, where was I going? So, in any case, got a lot of that to do, but I also have uniforms and things to prep, and this is for July. So, I mean, I could say I have some time, but truth is, the way I work, I don't have any time for that. Because it always gets procrastinated about. If that makes any sense. Birch. Oh, let's put this one. Yeah, why not? Sticks. Hey, open up stick box, thank you. Oh, birch, this way. But I have 3 uniform shirts to do, at least. Just because we don't have to wear our uniform for everything for the entire week. But I've slightly changed sizes. Slightly is probably putting it minorly. And also our national has changed the brands that make the uniform shirts twice. So the result of that is that we end up with shirts that don't quite fit all the time. And for me, that has given me opportunity because regular sizing changes and stuff, I've had to buy new shirts. But then with the newer ones, where am I trying to go with this word? I have to think this through. But I've ended up with, it seems like extra, and it's not really extra because I can now wear, layer things. So for camps and such, I can now have uniform shirts that, okay, if it's cold weather, I can wear, one of the slightly larger shirts with a layer or 2 underneath. But when it's warmer weather, I can wear one of the slightly smaller ones. Or if I'm going to be, what's the word? Can't think. Oh yeah. Or if I'm going to be wearing layers over top, like a fleece vest or something, then I might want a smaller shirt that, may not look that great, but it may fit under the overlayers a little better. That sort of thing. But thank heavens we don't have uniforms like our parents used to, because things have definitely changed. You see the old pictures of scouts in shorts and, the big flat hats and stuff, and yeah, that's not us. Thank heavens for that. Okay. I think I'm out. Yeah, I think I caught up and I'm out, which is fine. I may need to put out an APB. Just sort of like the needs wall. Yeah, see. Let's double check. This one. Yeah, I've got 7 seeds. It's not worth going back and forth on 7 seeds. Nope, I'm good on pumpkins. So we're good on the pumpkins, good on the melons. I haven't even got to apples yet. So we've got... The melons are basically done, which is great. Done. Potatoes, I've just... Part of my inventory thing will sort 1 in each slot so it looks like it's more full, which means I don't need to rush on that. Any of these I don't need to rush because it looks like they're full, right? Just a visual thing. So as I get them growing, I can put them in there. This one, oh, hey, there's the carrots. Aha! Steal one of those. Yeah, so I've got regular carrots and then golden carrots, and that's just a matter of trading. Apples and golden apples, we're getting there. Here, it's there. That looks better. This one, pretend I've got that many. And actually, I think these ones were going to be over here instead. Oh no, I remember why I put them in the middle. Okay, let's spread them out, and we'll grab some of these. I need 27, but that's okay. Spread them out, and spread that one out. There we go. You wish we could trade for apples? You can, actually. And golden apples, no. You're right. The golden apples we can't, as far as I know. Boys? Where'd you go? Usually you hang around. Here. Okay, this one is not an apple trader. I thought I could. Where did the other guy go? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there we go. See? Emeralds for apples. And it came right after the melons. Right after the pumpkin trade. So I can get the regular apples. But, as you saw from the fact that this guy had the trade, but the other one did not. That's not always there. Right? And so I can trade for that, but I can't trade for the golden apples, which is why I'll need to spend time at the gold farm. And I can trade for golden carrots, right, buddy? Yeah, I can trade for the golden carrots. So I won't need the gold for that, which is nice. How about them apples? Of course. Okay, and I was going to grab my ender chest and put it down. I'm like, no, I've got one. I've got one. And I need to get more rockets anyways, so let's put this toolbox out. Put 1 set of carrots in, that'll get me back. And... I don't need this one. Uh-oh, where did I put the other one? Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, move these, because I was going to be moving items. Put that away. Do we have room? I do not have room. Let's see what's not important. Ladders are probably not important because I can stack up with dirt. So let's pull that out and put water in. Ladders, you can go over there. And weirdly enough, oh, spruce sign. That doesn't need to go there. While hanging signs are useful, they're not that useful. Yeah, I think that's everything I can... Now I'm going, why do I have an empty spot? It's going to bug me now. What do I want to put in there? Probably some more random wood for things. Okay. This'll work. There, now I've got random wood should I need it. Okay. So there's the toolbox. The question of the day, if money and practicality weren't a problem, what would be the most interesting way to get around town? Fantastic Sherlock Fox likes walking. Okay. I'd probably be a bicycle person. Rockets. Oh, I'm a little low. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to squirrel on that then. So we've got 19... Yeah, 19. Do I have paper handy? Yes, paper. Farm products. Plenty. Okay, we'll just steal this one. Throw it over here for now. You want a driver or a helicopter with a pilot? Ooh. If money and practicality weren't a problem. I mean, if we also didn't have to worry about the fact that we haven't really developed it yet, then I would probably want to use a transporter. Then you can get anywhere you want in an instant. And if you want to go with, Star Trek or something like that, then you could also go with the notion that... Pardon me. Actually, it's not... Then you can also go with the notion that that type of technology could also help your health while you're at it. It's like, great, while you're there, please adjust the filter to filter out my cholesterol. We'll go with that. Oh, whoops. So I made some rockets, and not enough. Okay, I just put everything away. Like, thinking about this, I should have done the entire box all at once. That would make, sense. Go this way, and grab some more paper. There was a time that I thought segways were going to be a thing, even though I hated them. Yeah, I don't like segways. I think they're ridiculous. On the other hand, it would be kind of fun if you could just pull something out of your, pocket or your backpack that, you just pull something out and then drop it down on the ground, step on it, and go, right? I think that would be amazing. Rockets this way. I don't have enough space. Okay, let's drop this one. Oh, come on. Really? No. Stop picking it up, paper. Okay. This is gonna go up there. More rockets. Keep making rockets. Hey! Dropping stuff on the ground and making rockets. Okay, if I don't need to have things in my inventory to do that, drop that on the ground. Paper. Just for now, go away, paper. Oh, I guess I can put some rockets in there too. So, yeah, if I could just... I honestly thought segways were going to be a thing. Not that I like them, as I said. They are totally awful, but... sometimes I figure that there's going to be a trend that is just not going to go away. And I'm well aware I have too many rockets for that other box. Oops, that's not what I wanted either. This one. All of these. Let's just make what we can. That way I don't have too much paper kicking around, right? Math. The lens math is really sus today. Throw things on the floor? Sure. Let's drop that. Oops. There we go. Okay, this is gonna be a rocket box apparently. Oops, nope, not that. Let's pull this one and then go like this. I have too many rockets still. Well, I think I'm gonna stop making rockets because, yeah, okay, that should do me for more than the rest of the season. Now what did I do? Whoops. Whoops. Sure, you can be more rockets over here. Why not? That makes no sense at all, but why not? Let's get these. And of course, now I need this one, that one, Oh, no. Nope. No long today. Because there's too many things that I've been putting off doing that I need to try and make myself do. That, and there's projects for this server. Little to-dos that I said I should do. Okay, so we've got a box of rockets. Lots of rockets. Flowers and dyes. I don't know what to put this under. Where did I just put those spare rockets? Wow. Smart. I just moved them. Where did I put them? Jeepers creepers. The balance is not my strength. Yeah. Exactly. Bikes I can handle. Farm products. That's full. That's full. Guess I'll just grab one from over here. Go like this. And we'll sort them. There. I'll pretend that makes sense. It doesn't, but, you know. I'll pretend. Put that over there. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Squirrel! Alright, so let's see. M. Is there anything that was screaming for attention for short term? Not particularly. And I know what I was doing. I was taking things for delivery to the Hammer Time shop, but I will leave that for next time, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Picks. Shovels. All the shovels will fit in the picks box. Uh-oh. Whoops. That's mine. Can't have that one. Okay, so that fits, which means this box is good. Right. Of course I did that. Sure. Oops. So what I'm going to do, this part, the plan, so I'm just put the labels anyways, and shovels, that's empty. Let's move this one. Okay, and... Oh, I was trying to figure out why. That's... okay, that's weird. Ah, yeah, okay. I was trying to figure out why I had string up here, and it's because in some cases if you put trapdoors on, the mobs still think that they can land. Let's see. Yeah, a coworker of yours used to skate all the time and made his own boards. That's true, he did. Yeah, skateboards don't really work for me. Fantastic Sherlock Fox and I, at one point, took lessons together. That was actually one of our dating experiences. I don't know how he survived me after that. But, yeah, let's go with, we'll call this bows, because I can move boots down at the other end. Bows, axes, so picks, shovels, axes, swords, bows. Picks, shovels, axes, swords, bows. And then... oh, I know what this needs to be. And another one. Hello. Sign, please. Whatever. Garden... tools. Tools? But anyways, we took... inline skating lessons together, or rollerblading lessons. I've got shields. I don't think I need any more shields out there. Let's go boots, and we'll just move on down the line. Leggings. And, yeah. we had fun with those lessons, but we each own our own set of inline skates, which is quite nice. And I keep thinking I should get back on them. That would actually probably be a good way to do things, because I like when I can get going, I like the adrenaline rush of speed. However, I'm not very good at it. I know that sounds silly to say that, as in like, you don't have to be good at these things. But because I'm not good at it, it's actually dangerous. So the biggest spill I ever had was we're coming down around a corner, and I don't know if I hit gravel or just tried to take the corner too hard or whatever, but it was quite a nasty crash and burn with a good size scrape on my hip for a number of weeks. Yeah, I totally hear you, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I totally hear you on that. Okay, so Axes has room. Swords I've already taken. Let's move the boots. We'll throw them in the Axes box. So yeah, I'd like to get back in it. There actually is a place in town. You know, back in the day, people had good old-fashioned roller skating. Like you go to the roller rink, and people would just like hang out at the roller rink. We had the one in our town close, but actually since then, we've had another one open. So one of our other scout sections recently tried it, and they said it was okay, actually. So maybe I will try going there. I know I'm the old fogey, you know, but I own my own gear, and it's level, and it's flat, and, you know, will probably do what I want it to do. Okay, let's see. We've got Fantastic Foxes for Geek Out. How about Katniss Everdeen and the Baker Kid, whose name is Ludwig Pita? Oh, I see. Yes. I'd forgotten that that's what tributes meant in that case. So we'll roll that one, as we're just about out of time. So where do we go? This one. Nope, nothing for the shop. I think these are excess books that I needed more shelves for. So let's grab this one. Make a quick run for some shelving across the way. And then we'll nip into the Hammer Time shop doing a little bit of rearranging and dropping things off, because that needs to happen anyways. And see where we go from there. Hey! Don't! You! No, go away! Well, I guess they're cheesed at me for a very long time. On the other hand... Now I gotta walk. Hilarious. On the other hand... can anybody tell me whether or not they still stay upset after they've successfully killed you? That's something I don't remember. Yeah, this has been, what, 3 episodes now? It was last Thursday, I think it was. Maybe a little more? When, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last Thursday when I, was doing something in Poodle Stream. I told the story in the last episode. Me either. I didn't think they stayed aggroed this long. Oh, might as well pick that up while I'm at it. Sure. I don't know if I'm going to beat you with a piece of gunpowder or not. Anyways, but yeah, I got myself trapped. And, well, I guess we're going to tick up the little number in the corner. Maybe. Oh, not that high. 47. Yes, there we go. Oops. So I was hanging out in this room here and bouncing back and forth along the windows and watching the golem repeatedly hang out. And should we find out whether or not he wants to kill me again? Yep, he does. Dang it. Okay, well, Can somebody who they're not mad at help me grab my gear? Because I don't think I'll be able to get in and get it before it despawns at this rate. Well, I don't have a bed in here. Are all of them mad at me, though? That's the thing. Nope, just that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm at the monastery. And the one in the center with all the librarians is cheesed at me. But I think I might... Maybe I'll try a death run in circles. Let's see if I can get that to work first. So I can set my respawn upstairs. And see if they are... He's going to be mad at me. But how much can I grab before... Oh, he spotted me. Dang it. Like, if you watch this, see, he's... If I move here, I can see him. Yeah. And he's gonna move. It's really... Are you stuck? Sir, are you... Oh, nope, you're not stuck. Whoops, nope. Alrighty, well... If it turns out things despawn... as you know, I've had volunteered help, but if it turns out things despawn, then we will be making new tools again next time. That'll give me something. I guess really the only option I have at this point is to get out of here on foot as fast as I possibly can. And just hope that I get it to the point where it's unloaded. Yeah, I have to unload it to stop that timer. Huh, okay. Level of stupid, but that's okay. New one on me. I didn't think they stayed aggroed that long. Thank you very much, Poodle. You are awesome and amazing and all kinds of wonderful stuff. No problem. Thank you, Poodle. I appreciate it. I mean, I probably could have done the... Yep, can do. Do you intend to fly, or do you intend to walk? I haven't did you die box, but the thing is, there's no point... There's no point in, Oh, hello. Okay, you're on the inside? Perfect. Alright, so... If... The way that I'm facing right now, if you fly up and over that direction, you'll find the monastery, and it's down in the center section with all the librarians. There's a lot of splat all over there. Thank you! Well, mistakes were made. This close to the end of the episode, I'm going to leave the latest death tag, even though we've counted up. I'm going to leave it till tomorrow. What I might do... Yeah. What I might do... What do I have for stuffs? Let's see, diamonds. Nope. I have it. That'll do. Boots. Hat. Don't need to kill anything, I just need to get in there. Leggings. Okay, so what I could do actually is make a... Nah, doesn't really matter. Let's just put these back. Yeah. Note to self, do not kill things with a golem in the way. But once I actually get all the librarians that I'm happy with, I don't have to be getting rid of them anymore, and they're all trapped in one spot, then I will definitely remove all of the golems, not just for safety purposes, but also for the visual look of the thing. But the librarians are able to talk to each other, so I'm sure the golems will come back. I'll remove them one by one after. Oh, I'm hearing lots and lots of... Maybe I better go stand in the middle. Woohoo! Tag! Tag, you're it! Thank you! Thank you so much! Yay! Ooh! Oh, that's the random bows box, of course. White wool? Cool, I don't remember where the white wool was. I think that's yours. Thank you. Sure you didn't have that in your inventory? Because I don't remember carrying any of that. Oh, one set of those is definitely yours. I didn't have a full stack on me. But that's definitely yours. Yeah, everything else looks good. Thank you very much. Bows, this, that. Ooh, okay, the shovel. The only one that... Oh, there it is. Thank you. You did, but now you don't. We're all good. Yeah, I didn't name them cool things. I probably should have. Even named them after myself for that sort of thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. And then I think I had one or two ender chests in there, but it's no big deal. I can always make some more. I don't have a bag, because I put that up by the wheat, so that's good. I know where that is. Ah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, oh yeah, they stack, for sure. All right. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, Poodle, are you live today? Or will you be intending to be live? I know today's Tuesday. I don't think you normally are, but I just want to double check before I choose someone else to raid. Okay, good. Just making sure. I would offer to go pick up the stuff you dropped over there, but apparently that's not a wise idea at the moment. Oh, which way? Past the stables. So if you go at the stables side, or fly out the stables side, yeah. So we've got a lot of... Yeah, Poodle to the rescue! Yay! What I think I might do, since it looked like the hallways were safe, is I wonder if you can expire the timer by keeping it loaded. So that's an I wonder piece. So as I do other things, I'm wondering if I should try AFK at the honey farm on that side, because that's good for the market stall. And then that might keep the golem loaded enough for the timer to expire. That's what I'm hoping. But what I'm going to do before that is double check on everything else. For example, okay, I've got chest plates and stuff. Let's see, do I have... Did you die box? Yeah, let's put that... I'll take a... I'm going to dump these pieces. Go back and grab them. So let's put picks, etc. Where'd that one go? This one can go here. And then this one was bows, I think. Bows. So let's take the bows box. Yeah, nothing in there. Okay, great. I'll take that, and then I'm going to go plant it over by the thing, whatever the thing. I don't know. And I think Poodle got some rockets, but I am well and truly glad. because I don't want them back. I made enough. Made enough rockets. But I have excess. And I put some of them somewhere, and I don't even know where I put them. Like, stupidly. Yeah, oh, I have plenty. Yeah. And they're dry rockets. They're not, the pre-soaked rockets. No, don't worry about it. Go for it. Go for it. Keep them. I just made a whole ton. I'm just kind of curious where I had put them. Like, some of the extra ones. I know put some of them in a box. But I also have excess I put somewhere loosely, and I don't know where those went. That's okay. Okay, bed. That's 1, 2, 3. That's the shulker box for my stuff. Organics. These go away like they didn't exist. Books I can put away because I'm not going to do that right now. I was going to go rearrange things at the Hammer Time shop, but I'll do that next session. Where is it? One more. Oh, ha! That's the wrong one. This one. There we go. One with the cool name is the one that has to go in here. See? It's Delen's liftoff box. Most of them don't have names. That one does. I guess I don't need feathers, I'm not Dumbo. Alright. So yeah, let's get ourselves installed and then I will raid out. Rocket box. Rocket box. Rocket box over there. Feathers. You know what? You can just live over here. That's from the chicken farms to trade away. Alright. Yay! Thank you very much, Poodle. That's awesome. Change of plans? Yeah. Perfect. Excellent choice. I can laugh about how I just got myself killed by a 3-episode-old golem. But I'm not going down the inside this time. Let's go down the outside. Okay. So who do I want? Ooh. If I get dead, then I want to be able to survive again somewhere, just temporarily. None of these are real beds. That is a bit of a boo on my part. But it's my own fault because I said it that way. So let's put this box down here. And I'm going to AFK this stuff, so let's just put that there. Should I need an ender chest? Probably not. You know what? Let's do it that way instead. Is ender chest this. Take everything off that I like, because I don't need any of that stuff for AFKing purposes. This way and that way. Oop, this one can go. There we go. Can you beat it with your hand? Ooh, I did not know. Nice. Okay, so that will go over here. Great, now I can go in the door, get installed, and then we're gonna raid. Genfire sounds like a good choice. Nice, chill, fun personality. Wow. Okay, this is why you don't ask me to make textured patterns, because it's not exactly random. I went horribly checkerboard on that. Now it's all stripy. Ugh. Oh well, anyway. Okay, so they're probably still mad at me. I'm going to make a run for it to the bee farm. Let's see. Oh, he hasn't noticed I'm here. Okay, that's good news. Ah! I saw a fox. Not sure what sort of crazy thing Fox has got going, but yeah, I'll hang out up here for a while, because then I can... Now I'm deadly curious what the fox is up to. I think Poodle got it all, but yeah. So I'm gonna hang out up here, let the honey bottles and whatever do their thing, and that way we can get some more supplies for that farm. And in the same breath, I think that'll keep the golem loaded. Hopefully it'll be enough to keep the golem loaded so that the timer runs out. And then we can do librarians a little bit next time. And I know it's not super exciting. Cool, yep, no problem. So I know it's not super duper exciting, but it's definitely useful. Okay, so these guys are doing their thing. Perfect. Yay! By the way, Fox, I love that outfit. Very businesslike, very sharp, looking amazing. Okay. All that to say, oopsie-daisy! Mistakes were made. And, yeah. But in the meantime, thank you. Oh. Is that a bee in your pants, or are you happy to see me? I don't know. That's just all kinds of wrong. And on that note, I'm getting out of here. So we're going to head out to Genfire, and hopefully she'll have better taste than I will, and less mistakes. In the meantime, thank you everybody for coming by. I appreciate it. It's always great to see everybody. Thank you very much to our moderation team today, to Mama Bear and Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Thank you ever so much, Poodle Pirate, for rescuing me. That was very, very helpful. This late in the season, it's kind of a pain in the neck to try and get all the netherites and stuff, and I never did end up finding a trim to redo my shovel, so that's why it's still diamond. In any case, we got things to do, places to be, and you guys deserve a good raid, so let's get this party started. Hit the button for Genfire.
Mischief managed.
Mischief managed, mistakes made, and lots of wheat planted. So, have yourselves a fantastic day. And thank you very much to new follow from Antonio Wilson. Also, thank you to Clue Spending from Creef. And moderation team again was Mama Bear and Fantastic Sherlock Fox. And we had conversation from Poodle Pirate, Creef, Antonio, clearly Fantastic Sherlock Fox and Mama Bear, but I don't know what else happened. In any case, have yourselves a fantastic day, and I shall see you on the flip side. Bye for now.
Transfer complete.